Hello and welcome everyone. I am Linda Israel and thank you so very much for being here at my live stream on YouTube. I go live every Monday at 3:45 p.m. Central Standard Time unless I'm on vacation or something else comes up, but generally I'm live or I have a premiere video that you can come and watch. If you're watching this as a replay after the live stream has ended and you're on a computer, you can look for the little gear at the bottom of the screen and change the speed. If you're on a mobile device, generally the three little dots at the top, you can use those to change the playback speed to get through it a little faster, because generally my live streams last around 2 to 2.5 hours. I want to thank Robin for being my moderator and administrator and note taker throughout the live stream. She is generally my one right-hand woman, if you will, and I am so thankful to have her. She also is an administrator of the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. Occasionally, if she's not available, one of the other administrators will come over and help me, or a friend will help me moderate the video today. If you have questions, please feel free to put those in all caps and I'll do my best to answer those questions. If I don't see it, please ask again. Or if you know the answer to somebody's question, please answer it. Hey, if you have a YouTube channel, please feel free to share with us by saying, hey, I have a YouTube channel and this is what I do on it. You won't be able to share a link, but you can at least talk about your YouTube channel. Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. If you are having a great day, let us know. But honestly, we don't want the negative, what is going on in the world right now, because we are here to escape that, to be inspired, to be friendly, and have some fun. During the live stream, you have an opportunity to earn junk bucks. You can type !bucks to see how many that you have once Junkie Joe is up, because this is preliminary and I've pre-recorded this. Once you have 2,000 junk bucks, you can redeem those by typing a word and you can get a $10 off coupon to my shop. How do you earn junk bucks? Just by being here, chatting with us. So make sure that you speak up in the chat so that Junkie Joe registers that you're here, and by playing the in-chat games, and then also whenever you make donations. Occasionally I have raffles. In fact, right now there should be Junkie Joe coming up. You can type ! Raffles.
Sure.
Just as that says, and you can enter the raffle. If you make a donation during my live stream, do go over to my website, scrolling across the bottom here, and create a user account. Once you've created a user account on my website, make sure that you use the contact me form and say, hey, my name is on YouTube and I donated, and then I can get you added to the YouTube donator membership on my website. What does that do? Well, a member of my website in the YouTube donator membership gets 5% off orders in my shop, gets several digital downloads for free, and during the live stream when you donate, you get a chance to win the journal that I raffle off at the very end. Throughout the live stream, I will have different raffles giving away prizes. If you will type !raffle when you see those come up, then you can have a chance to win those items. We're going to get started here in just a moment. Thank you so much for being here today. When the video is over, come back and leave a comment. Tell me what you liked about today's video, or if you have questions and you're watching this as a replay, use that comment section down below. Also, look in the description box to links to the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group, as well as by Linda Israel, my Instagram, Twitter, my website, and generally I try to update the products that I use, and those links are in the description box as well. All right, well, let's get started.
Okay, I think we're live. Well, check it out just a little bit by saying hello, everybody. I hope you are well. I hope you're having a good day. As I said in the chat portion, Robin is ill. So if you could keep her in your thoughts and prayers, I would greatly appreciate it. I know she would too. I hope that everybody else that is here is well and had a great couple of weeks. And let's see, did y'all see my video that I posted last week showing you how to basically transform a book page with rubber stamps and watercolor paints and create your own background papers? So I hope you saw that video. It's not too long, but should have enough information in there. Hello, hello. I see Rhonda and Mary and the Mrs. Edmondson, Jennifer and Sheila. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. I know that there's probably some other people that are watching but don't speak up in the chat. I understand that. You may be a little bit shy, but do feel free to say hello, just even to say hey, and you're going to watch, and that's all. So I thought I would kind of continue on. Yes, you saw that, Jennifer, of showing you a little bit about using some scraps of paper and kind of using the love Valentine theme. This may not be your thing. Maybe you don't really care for Valentine's Day. My husband says that it's just a commercial grab, money grab, that it's just there to force people to buy things and make people feel guilty if they don't purchase something for their significant other. I feel that, if you love someone, you should always want to do something for them every day, not just on one particular day of the year. So if you're looking at my ideas, look at them with the idea that maybe you're going to write in your journal about something that you love. Maybe you love writing. Maybe you love your dog. Maybe you love your significant other. Whatever it may be, it doesn't have to necessarily be Valentine in nature. So I wanted to show you a couple of things that I made let's say 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And I used basically book pages that I made a master board. I kind of showed y'all how to do a master board 2 weeks ago. And basically all this was a bunch of book papers. These are some of the bases. And then I rubber stamped, I stenciled, I added some embossing so you can kind of see a little bit of the glitter there. And then I cut those pieces up and used them on some pre-made cards that I had in my stash. I used some scraps that were in my scrap boxes that I have. I've kind of showed this a few times. Yes, maybe you're making a journal for someone you love. Exactly, Jennifer. Exactly. Hey, Connie, so glad to see you here. I save all of my scraps. So I'll kind of show you up here. I've got a box. I haven't officially put in the labels in my label holder, but I have started to paint the front of these. And then inside, I'll kind of grab it. I put a huge Ziploc bag. And then I place all of my purple scraps in this particular one. And I knocked something off. Oh, the cell phone fell off. I might want to keep that from breaking. And so all my purple scraps are in this one. And I have one for blue. And I have one for pink. And let's see what else. Blue, pink, white, black, brown, yellow, and orange are together. Red, green. So I have all of these boxes, and so I've been kind of going through those and grabbing a few pieces of paper to be able to make some. And that's what this was scraps. And here's some more that were scraps that were in there. So when you're making something like this, you may have a particular theme that you're working on. You could replace that heart with something else. Maybe you love butterflies, or maybe you just want to put a flower or rose. Maybe you have some digital images from Calico Collage you want to use. So don't be limited in what you use. And when you look at my ideas, look at it as, well, you know, I don't want a heart, but I have replace it with this thing and put it in instead. So these were just a few of the things that I made. These were some that I made off camera, where I had a book page that was painted with some acrylic paint, and then I stamped that piece and glued it to a piece of cardstock, and then I had some more little pieces of paper that I had painted, and I put them together. Well, hey Hopes, how are you? So, you know, look at your scraps a little bit differently. And if you don't like your particular scrap, well, paint it. Give it a different color. Like on this one, I added some stenciling over the top of rubbing my ink pad to change the color just a little bit. You know, there's lots of ways. This is scrapbook paper that I layered up. And here is where I took one of these blank cards. They were a 4x4 card, and I laid the heart down and traced around it, but left it in place and rubber stamped on the outside. So it's all one layer, but it looks like it's multiple layers. You could also come back in and grab one of these other hearts, maybe a smaller one, and glue that in the middle if you don't like the white, or you could put a picture in there or some phrase or whatnot. So think outside the box. This is going to be a pocket that I started. I've got the tabs. I haven't decided if it's going to go this way or this way, but I thought I would leave it to be able to use in a journal project. All right, so I'm going to set this out of the way. So put this up here. And I don't know what we're going to do. I didn't pre-plan. Henry and I celebrated our 32nd wedding anniversary last week. It is officially was January the 26th, but Henry purchased a cruise for us, and we went on February the 3rd and returned on Saturday. So we got home late Saturday night, and then Sunday we had lots of snow here, so I haven't really been motivated to do a lot. But I kind of grabbed a few things. So here's what we're going to start with. I have a pre-made card that was in my stash, and I went ahead and just went around the edges with some distressed ink. I have a piece of book page that I thought would be a perfect mat. And then when I was playing with my watercolors, I cut some strips of paper. In this case, they are approximately 5 inches by 1 inch. And I just, whoop, flying ruler. I just added some colors in there. In this case, it kind of matches the colors that I used to watercolor the flowers. And then I was looking through my scraps, and I didn't really see a yellow that I thought would go with it, but I made one. I took a book page and I just washed it with some watercolor paint and just added some yellow and a little bit of orange. And I thought, well, maybe I could do something where I put a little collage on there. I feel like I need to put something on that book page. So what do we want to put on that book page? Should we put some rubber stamping on there? Should we add some color? Maybe even add a green wash to make that all pop out just a little bit. I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is if I stamp this background with a pattern and then wash it with a color. So first, I think I'm going to add some color to it. So I'm going to set this aside here and grab that piece. I have a little tray that I've started, and then here's my watercolors over here. I'm going to spray them just a little bit with a spray bottle. I've got a couple here that is just water. That's all they are, is just some water to get that hydrated. And then somewhere, I saw it. Where is it? My paint brushes. So I've got my little paint brushes here, and I need a scrap. So I've got, I was testing my sewing machine. Pardon me. I was testing my sewing machine on one of the stitch patterns, and it wasn't working right. So I'm going to have to play with it some more. So what color do we want? I think I'm going to come in here and grab this green and add it in here just a little bit. And I'm trying to decide if I should go ahead and kind of wet the paper, because wet on wet, it spreads a little bit better. If it's dry and you put watercolor on it, it may stick to that spot and it won't spread out, especially if you didn't prepare the paper with like some gesso or something. So I'm just going to come in here and add a little bit of water with a paintbrush. And then I'm going to come in here and grab some water that has been colored with my watercolor to kind of fill in. See how it's moving pretty well all over the page? And I think that's going to be the right color on here. Add a little bit more. Trying to add a little bit there. I decided I wanted to paint it first before we stamp on it, because sometimes when you add the watercolor after the fact, it dulls your stamped image. I kind of like that. It may look a little bit more yellow on the screen, but it's really a green. Now, do I want to add a second shade of green? Let's go over here. I've got a little bit darker shade of green. I'm trying to grab that just a little bit. How is everybody? Did y'all have a good couple of weeks? Did you do anything fun? We went on a cruise, like I said. We, for the first time, went on the Jubilee. That is a new Carnival ship that sails out of Galveston. And it was a nice trip. We got to meet some new people. We really enjoyed the layout of the ship, being able to try some of the new venues that it has on it. It was really nice. Okay, so I'm just kind of adding a variation of green, and I'm going to clean out my brush. All right, so now I'm going to dry this. So I'm going to grab my heat tool. There it is. I lost it for a moment. And dry this, and then we'll get a, pardon me, we'll get a rubber stamp. I'm trying to decide if I should stamp the leaves. Like I have this leaf that's right here. I could stamp that all over in the background. I have out the henna rose stamp. We could do that one. What else could I use? I've got out a heart stamp. That's one of my stamps. What is your suggestion? Should we do the leaf, or should we do like a pattern with the henna rose in the background? You see how that is different shades of green on there? Oh, no one won. Hercules boss wiped everybody out. Oh my goodness. Hercules, we have a camera set up. Oh, that sounds like fun. A 1600 mile road trip. Wow, that's fun. While we were gone, we had a video camera set up, and our living room is on the other side of this wall where my craft room is. And apparently Hercules was very anxious while we were gone, and he would get up on our chair, and there's a side table, and he would stand there and look, and he would bark. And then he would walk somewhere else, and he would bark, and he would walk somewhere else and bark. And he didn't sleep very much. We got home on Saturday, and I was like, oh, we're home. And I pet him, and then he went and laid down and went to sleep and slept all night. And he slept into the morning. I guess he was tired. All right, what do you think? Should we do the henna rose or the leaf? I think I'm going to do the henna rose. So I'm going to grab a scrap of paper here and get my archival ink. I need to order another re-inker. I was noticing today that I have a partial re-inker left. So I need to do. You like that green, Rhonda? Cool. That wasn't nice of Junkie Joe. No, it wasn't, Connie. He didn't want y'all to win. All right, so let's see how this is going to look. I'm just kind of rotating the paper a little bit. So again, if you don't have a lot of fancy scrapbook papers, but you do have some rubber stamps and even some paint, even some watercolor paint, you can make your own background. Okay. So now we have this piece. So what if we were to put that on here? And then we have this piece, and this piece. I kind of feel like I need to define around that heart just a little bit. So let me grab my markers. So I'll get a scrap of paper here. Now this is a book page, so I'm going to have to be very slow as I just kind of go around that edge just a little bit. Okay. I happen to have a bunch of heart chipboard pieces. If you go to my website and type in heart and chipboard, you'll see them. And I use that as my tracing template to be able to trace the heart. And then I've put all my little hearts into a little pouch so that I can pull them out and use them again. Okay, how does that look? So if we were to put this here, and then put the heart in the flowers, something like that. I did stamp out some words. So I've got a few words here. So we've got really small. I have the word love. That might look cute up there. Let's zoom in so you can see. Let's zoom in. Zoom. All right, I hit the zoom, but oh, there it goes. All right, what do you think? Something like that with the love on there? I'm kind of looking at the screen to see if I find anything that I need to make changes to, but I kind of like the way that looks. So let's glue this all together and we'll move on to something else here in just a moment. So I'm just going to use some Aleene's tacky glue and put a little bit of this down. On the top of here. We, did I just hear a ding? We went on this cruise out of Galveston, Texas, and got on the Jubilee and went to Roatan, Honduras, and then we went to Costa Maya. I had to think about all the things we went to. And then we went to Cozumel. And we were very fortunate that we had good weather. Apparently, the few days before we went, the same ports had terrible, terrible weather. and you probably can see some footage of some Carnival ships that had issues. One of them was their ship hit the pier and made a big mess of damage on the ship and the pier, and they had to actually leave that dock or that pier and go to another part of the island to get all the passengers that were on the island of Jamaica. And I was very fortunate that we didn't have that type of an issue with our cruise. I think I'm going to kind of move it over just a slight amount there. So we were fortunate. We had beautiful weather. I think only on when we were in Honduras, I think that morning it was chilly and we had a little bit of rain. It sprinkled a little bit, but not a lot. And while we were there, we took a kayak tour. So you could go over to this little inlet area and get a kayak and then kayak on your own. And Henry and I did that. And that was really enjoyable. It was a beautiful, just smooth water. The weather was pretty, had a little bit of overcast, but not super sunny, you know, or not like dark. And I really enjoyed it. We just kind of kayaked around in this little cove, and I was like, I could do this again. I have a friend that lives in Oklahoma City that loves to kayak. She'll do a paddleboard all in the lakes here. She'll go early in the morning when it's nice weather, and she even has a dog that she takes with her, and he rides in the kayak with her. And I've been meaning to hit her up and meet her one morning because she said she has more than one kayak, and I'm more than welcome to go with her. So I may have to do that soon. All right, so let's glue this down. And we'll kind of put that right about here. So you kind of get that backdrop. Make it a little straighter. Okay, smooth that out. So what do you think? Just kind of a simple little card that I made there using book pages and some watercolored images. This is my daisy, and then the leaves I stamped behind there. If you need to know how I did that, let me know, and I will get out those stamps and stamp that for you. So I'm going to set this one aside. Over here, I started to kind of make a composition earlier. I was looking at these hearts that I had, and I have this, I thought I had another piece, but I don't see it now. Oh, there it is. Okay. And I had a couple of these pieces, so I thought I would look to see what I had here, and I know I saw, here we go. I have this paper that is from Seven Gypsies Canvas Corp brand. You don't trust Junkie Joe anymore? Yeah, he's taking all of your junk bucks, right? Glitter Boss wiped the floor. That's twice in a row. He didn't want anybody to win, did he? So I thought maybe what I would do is use that as a foundation. I think it's 8x8, so I'm going to look. Yeah, 8x8. So what if we cut this into a 4-inch, maybe 6? Let's see, what can I end up with? If I do 5, if I do 4, I don't want it to be, let's do 6 inches. So we'll have a 2-inch strip, and then we'll have 2 4-inch strips. So I have these that I'm going to make into a journal card. And I have this little piece, and I don't really care for what it looks like, so I'm thinking what I'll do is cover it and make a belly band out of it. I just saw this book page. So what if we were to put that on top? And then I've got this little piece that I can put on there. And then this little piece, and then maybe some flowers. Yeah, meanie! Mean Junkie Joe. All right, so I think what I'll do is we'll glue this piece down, and I'll trim off the excess. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And we'll turn this into a belly band. So I'm just adding a little bit of glue on here. And then line this up with the book page. And I'll use my bone folder to help smooth that out. All right, let's use my paper cutter to trim it. I got too many things in front of my desk here, so I can't show you the whole paper cutter, but I'm just using my paper cutter to help keep my line straight. And I throw this piece away, but I'll put this piece in my blue bin that I have behind me. All right, so we have this piece, and I have this little piece that I thought we'd put on top. And I know that looks a lot alike. So let's see if we can find something. I have a piece of this purple. I don't know. Maybe even we'll find a book page that we like. I have a little bin that when I pull book pages out, I'll sometimes toss them in here. So if I come up with an idea of something that I can use it for. I just saw this one. Maybe that's what I need. It's a nice dark color. So maybe instead, why don't we cut some strips out of this? All right, so this strip is approximately 1 inch. So what if we go 1.5 inches, and I'll cut off the excess white here. Now, do I want to cut off? Yes. So I'll lay that on here. And then we'll lay this one on top of that. And then I have a little heart that I had basically painted a piece of watercolor paper. So we're kind of getting a little bit of a pattern. I think we could stamp on top of this one. Get a drink of water. So Connie wants to know, when I use book pages, do you find any difference in the paper in hardcover books versus or paperback? She's curious. You know, honestly, I think they're pretty much the same. I will say that reference books, your Bible, your encyclopedias, your concordance, dictionaries, those have thinner paper, so they're really lightweight. This is kind of a concordance study book that this came from. I find that your traditional books have sometimes a thicker paper. I don't really buy that many paperback books. I buy mostly hardback books only because I can get to those accessible through the Friends of the Metropolitan Library book sale that we have here in Oklahoma. If you go on the internet and maybe just do a library book sale and put in near you, put your state or city or something, you might find where you can go to these large book sales and get books for 50 cents or $1. Some of the books that I picked up, which are considered more of a collector, you may pay $3, $25, $100 for. Just depends on what it is. But generally, I try to find books that are under the $5 mark, and I know that they are a reference book, that possibly there's millions of them out there, so I know tearing it up is not going to be a big deal. A lot of times I pick up books that have been damaged, and so I don't feel bad about tearing those up either. You know, they're just paper, just another form of paper. So I don't really have an answer for you other than, yeah, some books are different. Mainly if you open them up, just kind of thumb through the paper and you can see if you like it or not. All right, so we put this on here. Put that over there. I don't need that one right now. I'm thinking maybe, I just saw this, so do I want to change this heart out? No, I still want to use this heart, but I think I'll look to see. I've got some different. Oh, I've got a butterfly. That might look kind of pretty coming off of. And what else? I have some watercolor flowers that I made. This one's kind of pretty. Maybe I'll do a little collage composition with that. Put these back over here. I don't know. I want to use this, but sometimes it just doesn't lend itself right. So what if we were to put the butterfly? Maybe if I put the butterfly lower, or the opposite, put the heart down low and have the butterfly up high. I have this little flower. I'm kind of trying to decide if I want to make that composition or just leave that butterfly off altogether. I kind of think that's what I want to do. I'm going to add some distress inks to this one. And I'll add some distress inks to the other pieces. You're welcome, Connie. You know, when you're messing with that paper, kind of look at it and see. And I try to, if I'm going to dye it later, I may take a page out of the book and get it wet and see how well it holds up. I've found that if you glue multiple papers together, they usually are easier to handle. They don't tear as much. Like this page right here is really old and somewhat brittle. And I would back this with something else if I wanted it to be my, basically the base of a greeting card or a, see, it's already ripping. See the rips? If you're going to make it a base of a journal card or a pocket, then I would definitely make sure that you back it with something else. Trying to use up all these scraps. I've got a little piece that's coming off here, so I'm going to try to glue that down. Okay. Let's add it to this piece. Okay, so let's add some stamping on there. Trying to get rid of some of my scraps here. I have this little hearts, so I think I'm going to stamp that on this back piece. And I know we're going to cover up some of this, but I think having that pattern in the background kind of helps because it's sticking out there. And then this piece, I think it's upside down. I think I want to try to cover up some of this white area. So I'm going to grab a paintbrush, and I think it's close to this color. Let's see. That's pretty close. So I'll kind of come in here and add a little bit. That one's a little bit darker. I think that works better. That gives me a little bit more of a area to choose when I go to place my layers. I felt like I needed to place it at the bottom, and I felt like I needed to keep it where the text was right side up. Okay. All right, I think I like that. So we'll put this one here, and then we'll put this over that. I'm going to cut this just a smidge to be a little bit shorter. So let's go from the bottom. Might as well. So I'm just going to line it up with the edge and use that to cut my straight edge. I kind of like that. All right, what do we want to put on here? Let's use the henna rose again. Good morning, Diana. Hello. Is it hot, hot, hot where you are? Hey, Raven. Welcome, welcome. We have snow on the ground here, Diana. Pardon me. Okay. I like it. All right, so now we've got this piece and this piece. And I was going to put this heart on here and maybe have that flower come off like that. What do you think? I think that looks pretty good. Let's glue these together. We could go to the sewing machine and stitch on them. Let me know if that's what you'd like me to do. And after I glue them down, we'll go over to the sewing machine. Whenever you get to travel, whether it be to the next city over or out of your country, what do you like to do? What are some things you like to do? Something that Henry and I like to do is when we can, we'll try to eat someplace different that we may not have gone to before. And usually we can find a place that's reasonably affordable and food that we like. On this cruise, there were some specialty restaurants, so we decided to try those out as we were cruising. So we got to go to there's a seafood restaurant on the ship that has crab stuffed lobster, and it was really good. That was weird. Oh, I see why. There was a hair. It was like, why was that pulling? And that was really quite tasty. I had not had crab stuffed lobster before. So I got to try something new. Flip this over. Okay. I think I like that. Now, if we put this here, I think I like that. I don't think it needs stitches. I did go over that way a little bit, but I think I like that space in there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece down. Kind of going the halfway mark here. Put a little glue right here. And then we'll put this piece coming off the heart. I think that looks pretty pretty. Okay. Maybe like that. I'm going to lay a stamping block over that for just a moment. Kind of clean off the glue off of my hands. Okay. All right, I like that. Now, do we want to do something like follow your heart? Or I've got the love. I was trying to get a hold of it. Maybe put a love right here. I think that'll look good. Yep, let's do that one. All right, so let's make a journal card that would go into this tuck spot or pocket. So we know that this is 8 inches and this is 2 inches. So I want a maybe a 5x7 journal card. Yeah, I think that'll work. I think I had some pre-cut ones from some, possibly. It may be a little bigger, but it'll be close enough that I can trim it down a little bit. So let's see. That's really close. So I think I'm going to trim this piece down. Hey, Janice. Hello. So first I'm going to trim it down to, let's make it 7.5 inches, or maybe go down to 7. Let's go ahead and go and do 7 inches. And it was 6 inches wide, so I'm going to come down to 5 inches. And I'll stick those in my scrap bin. So if we did a 5x7 journal card here, that's going to go behind like that. Maybe we'll put something on here that makes it pop. Let's see. I have this piece of a gel print. I think that would look kind of pretty, wouldn't it, to be right behind that? Yeah, okay. So here's what we're going to do. I want to take this piece and let's just kind of go maybe off this edge. So I'm just going to glue the whole thing down. It's kind of handy putting all the papers into a bin like this by color, that when you want a certain color, you can just go straight to that bin and get it. I think I'm going to go ahead. I haven't done it yet. I've got scrapbook papers that right now they're pretty much predominantly pads of scrapbook paper. And so they're all connected together by color or theme. And sometimes when I want a piece of scrapbook paper, it's a little bit of a task to go through all those pads and flip through them to see if I can find the perfect piece. So what I've been thinking about doing is basically tearing all those pads apart and sorting the papers by color. So if the paper is predominantly pink, it would go in a pink sort of a paper holder bin. If it was teal or pink, blue or green, whatever that may be, just kind of separated that way. Have any of you done that? Have you separated your papers out by color? Or do you keep them by the brand and the size of a paper pad that they come in? Okay, I think I like... See how that looks behind there? I'm going to go ahead and add some distress inks to this. So this was a gel print where I was just playing around, and it may have not have been a perfect print, but I think it lends itself well to use it for this application. Let's go ahead and do some sewing. So we'll take it to the sewing machine and we'll stitch around this outside edge. Just adding a little bit of distress inks to it. Also, it gives me a moment for that glue to dry. Now remember, when you're going to a sewing machine and you're going to sew, you want to make sure that that paper is dry, that the glue isn't still wet, because it can kind of gum up your machine and it'll also rip your paper. And we're going to use my Brother brand sewing machine that I've had for a while now. So I'm going to flip this over here. Get my, yeah. Is that better? Yeah. So no, you need to organize it all. I understand, Janice. So I've got regular thread. It's black thread in the upper and the lower. I've got it set for a zigzag stitch. And I'm just going to get started here on this corner and just zigzag stitch down. I don't know if y'all could see when I move. Let's see if I go this way. You can see my cubbies. I've been working on all of those. I've got 1, 2, 3 rows of 6 completed. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side, rows of 7 that I have to complete yet, where I am replacing my old storage, which were a mix of things. Some of those things were baskets that I found that happened to fit in those cubbies. Some other things that I used were the plastic drawers for storage. I've used some boxes. I think I even see a box that came with perfume or like lotions, and it was like a gift set type thing. I was trying to think what else I have in here. I've got a metal box over there that came from Stampin' Up. So it's really a hodgepodge of a mess back here. So I just stitched around that. So I'll kind of show y'all. Let's see, let's go, let's do face zoom. Let's see if y'all can see a little better if I move out of the way. So you can kind of see the boxes here. I'll kind of pan down so you can see what I've done so far. So I've just kind of added all these new boxes and I put these pulls on them. I haven't officially put the labels on them yet, but that I want to type out, and I'm doing it temporarily for now because I feel like I want to get all of them finished. So I'm just putting a sticky note with what is inside that drawer until I get it all organized, and I'm hoping I can get it done in the next few weeks. I'm just taking my time as I do it. So let's go here. Uh-oh, Hercules, what you need? You need to go outside? My dog is whining at me. Just give me a moment, and I'll be right back. Yeah, you like the idea of doing it by color? Okay. What do you need, Hercules? You go outside? You want to go out? Okay, I'm coming. Go out? Okay, good. Go outside. Sorry about that. Hercules, he doesn't usually do that. But I think he didn't want to go out. I think he thought he should get a cookie. But I'm out of cookies because my dog sitter fed you all the cookies. There's no more cookies. I don't have any. Oh, dear. All right. So this is going to go behind here. I'm thinking we should put something in this corner, maybe. I've got a little bitty heart. I don't know if that goes. I have a heart punch here. Oh, here's a purple one. I wonder if that would look better. What do you think? Just a little heart, maybe? Just so that it has a heart on it. I think that's what I'll do. All right, let's add some distress inks to that. Okay. Give him yes, he loves peppermints. I should. I don't know if I have. There's some in the other room. I need to get a peppermint for him. He loves peppermints, that's for sure. Jennifer found that out. She had some in her purse, and he was after them. He thought he had to have those. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to get him a peppermint because he's bugging me. Hercules, come here. I knew that Henry had some peppermints in the other room, and I've got a pair of pliers here, so I'm going to try to break it because I don't want to give him the whole thing. There we go. All right. I just broke it into little pieces. All right, let's put it on a napkin. All right, here you go. Here. Here. Right here. I put it down for him. He's sniffing it. Oh, he likes that. I got you, Hercules. Hercules. Thank you, Jennifer, for suggesting that. It was funny. I got home, and the guy sent a message that the dogs love the dog treats, and I didn't realize he'd fed them the whole thing. He would feed them a dog treat 3 times a day. When he would get here, I think twice while he was here. So when he got here, right before they left, and then he would come back, and he came 3 times a day. It's like, oh my gosh. All right, you ate all that. Okay, good boy. He liked that. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to add a little bit of a line around the heart. Let's see. One of my gel pens. Let's see if this is the one I want. I need a pen, something to write on. Or do I want this one? I think we'll do this one. I need to pick up some more felt tip pens. Next time I go to the dollar store, I'll look to see if they have any. So I'm just using a roller ball pen to go around that heart. There we go. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. All right, so I've made 2 cards. All right, so I have these that I think we should cover with something. This is my collection of hearts, and most of them are pinks and purples and blues. Mostly blue, it looks like. Found that piece. Oh, this one might be pretty. I have this piece. So what if I were to glue that on the front and then put a heart over it? And then this one, I'll find something else to go in the background. Do we want to do that? I think that would look pretty. We'll have a little bit of this area right here. Okay, so let's do this. Let's glue this piece down. Right here. Trying to put just enough glue to help hold it in place, but not so much that it would make the paper buckle. This is a thin cardstock. I think what happened was this particular pattern of paper was printed on the wrong paper, and so they had made this a pile of grab bag papers, and I was noticing it seems a lot thinner. Oh, Hercules Boss wiped y'all out again. All right, let's cut this down. I think I need to turn my strip around because I'm noticing it's tearing the paper as opposed to cutting it. So if you ever notice that your paper is jagged and you have this style of a paper cutter, you can go here where, I don't know if you can see this little tab area, and if you just pry this piece out, and I'm going to clean underneath it a little bit. Come on. Get a little rag here and kind of wipe that out. All right, so then I'm going to rotate this so that it was this way. So I'm going to rotate it this way and put it in here. And what it'll be is it will feel like a brand new cutter just by rotating that. So I'm going to glue this piece down the same way and we'll cut it, and then I'll show you the difference. how it cuts so much better. So if you ever feel like your paper cutter is dull and it has that type of a strip under it, flip it around. And in my case, this particular strip, you can flip it, you can rotate it, so you'll basically get 4 uses out of that. All right, so now I'm just going to cut off the excess here. Oh yes, that cuts so much better. It's not ripping the paper anymore. You probably can't even tell the difference unless I point it out, but I don't know if you can kind of see there's a little bit of a jagged edge there. It's because it basically tore the paper, where on this one, it's nice and crisp across there. All right, so we got these 2 pieces. You know what, I have this piece left over, so we could do a layered. Something like that. I'm going to go ahead and cut this to be shorter. Something like that. And we have this pink heart, so I got 2 of them. That's where I put one there and one there. Maybe we'll add some flavors. I guess it's, I don't know that it's spring loaded, but this part of it is, it's a Fiskars. You like this one? This one, I don't know. I like the way that, you know, it's 2 separate pieces, and then this piece can come out and flip it. And you have to be careful because there's some out there that the markings aren't a different color. They're the same orange and you can't see them, but I like this particular model. And you can replace the blade. So you can pop this apart. I can't remember how to do it. Oh, there it is. You pop this apart and you just replace this blade. So I have replacement blades that I purchased that come like this with that one. Yeah, I'll send you a link, Jennifer. Okay, I like that so far. So do we want to continue with the same color? I may need to cut some more flowers. Oh, I've got this one. I'm trying to decide which is better. I have these littler flowers. Okay. Or do we want to do a smaller flower? I don't know. I kind of like this bigger flower better. I don't know why for this particular one. I think that's what I'll go with. Okay. Put that back in here. Let's add some distressings to those. Yeah, we've got snow on the ground that's been melting. It snowed most of the night last night. All right, let's do this piece. I stamped a bunch of these out and then just spent some time adding some watercolor to them, and then I fussy cut a bunch of them out. I like the way they turned out. Okay. I think a lot of people are doing other things today, Janice. I know that Robin is ill. She does not feel well. So keep her in your thoughts and prayers. I need to message her when I'm done to see if she needs anything. I told her if she needs anything, let me know. I can't read your mind. If you want something or need something, you have to tell me. Okay. I kind of like using up all these scraps that I've had forever. You're getting rain now? Yeah, I don't think it will stick either if it's like ours. It's just basically kind of dumped and then melted off. I think that'll look cute. So let's put this on there. These are some of my stencils. And this particular one is I think it's a gel print. It feels like a gel print. Where I did metallic gold paint through one of the wild and free stencils. Okay, do like that. And then we'll glue down this heart. Pick a sentiment to put on here. I've made a bunch of heart-themed journal cards past couple of weeks, so got a good selection now to choose from. Okay, maybe right here. Oh, I like that. All right, let's put my block on here to help glue it down. Too hot and windy? Your trees? Oh, no! Well, hopefully you won't lose any of those trees, that they're just making noise, right? Okay, I'm looking at this. All right, this is the right side up. Just glue this down. This is I think it's called the large diamond stencil that I used here and did some gel printing. And I think this was from the daydreaming kit that I made for Penny's. It's called Just Penny, and she had a virtual retreat, and I made a few kits and then did tutorials on how to put together the journal using the kit. All right, put that there. Yeah, that'll go down there. Okay. Well, that went pretty quick, didn't it, making those? I think I'll go ahead and look through my little bin here of words and see what we want to put down. Get rid of some of my scraps here. Well, I guess Hercules is happy now because he laid right down after I fed him that peppermint. All right, so we want to do maybe follow your heart down here in the corner. And I've got this one that says Amor. I'm going to put that there. I don't want that one's too big. Let's go back over here and see if this works better. I think that looks better on there. You like it? Can get hot, hot, hot. I know right now, you know, we got snow on the ground, but in a few weeks we'll be going, oh my goodness, it's so hot here. All right, kind of put that across there. This could also become a cover element, you know, put on the front cover of a journal if you wanted. I'm not going to put additional paper on the back right now in case I do choose to use it that way, but you could just write on this particular piece, or you can add some more paper. Like it? You know what I didn't do is I have some bling out here. So let's get the bling out and go back and put some bling on these. I just saw it. Where'd it go? Got some bigger pieces of bling here. Kind of cut these up. It's on a strip, so I'm just kind of cutting those apart. And you know what? I like adding it to the center of these flowers. So I got just enough prepared that I can glue these down. Okay. Like so. Let's put one more on this heart. Put it right there. All right, so now we added bling, so that gives it a little bit of sparkle. And then I added the bling to those. See that in there? This one's got some rubber stamping where I embossed. And then I added some to this piece. All right, so we got about 4 elements made so far. Back over here. All right, so now what do I want to do? I've got some scraps here. I also have a, what was the space for a Franken page, or maybe I'll cut that up. I've got a piece of white cardstock here. All right, do I want to cut this into, let's look at it. It looks like I started to feed it into my printer. My printer rejected it. So what is this? This is about 9 1/4 by 8 3/4. So what do we do? So if I cut this at 4 1/2, 4 3/4. And maybe, well, it made it a little bit bigger than that, but let's make it 8 inches tall. Why? Just because I can. I'm going to go ahead and make these the same size. About 4 1/2 inches. Okay. So, if I have this piece, do I want to just cut a strip that is 2 inches? Okay, and then let's cut this down. What did I say these were? These are 8 inches. So if I cut these at 7, 7.5, that kind of gives us a nice little border. Makes us some tall, skinny journal cards. Like that. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to add some distress inks to these edges. And I think we're going to go to the sewing machine and stitch where I cut off. That way it's a completed piece. So again, if you don't have particularly pretty papers, but you have a bunch of little pieces, you can glue them down to a piece of paper and then cut it all apart to kind of make a little Franken page to work with. All right, so we're going to stitch around this edge, and this one I'm going to go, looks like here, here, here. So 3 sides on that one. All right, let's go over to the sewing machine. Go back, the sewing lamb. Go down and around. Zippity-doo-dah. I think I'm going to do some stenciling on the cardstock piece so that it's not so stark white. I am going ahead and cutting thread because sometimes I like having the threads sticking out. I have a friend named Phoebe that she says, I'm so annoyed that you don't cut those threads off. That's okay. You do you. If you don't like them, you can cut them off. Kind of like when they stick out just a little bit. All right, let's do this one. Using up all these scraps. Okay, I'm going to go across. There we go. That piece is done. Okay, so I got these 2 pieces done. So let's see if we can find a stencil that I like. I used this one last week a little bit, so maybe I'll use it again. That was that Wild 4 stencil that I did with the gold earlier. I have that Retro Panel 4. I have the Quilted Starburst. Open Lattice stencil. I have a heart stencil. That's funky little boxes. So, I think we'll do... You know, I haven't used the Retro Panel 4 in a while, so let's do that one. Okay. Get my paper that I use for my desktop here. I think I'm going to turn it this way just so that I can get a good coverage. So, what color should I do? I'm thinking maybe I've got this Seedless Preserves that I like to use a lot. Okay. And Seedless Preserves. Yeah, let's do that one. All right. So I'm going to come in here. So this will add a nice pattern to the paper. And I used another scrap out of my scrap bin. Well, that'll look good. And then put this piece over it. And we'll add some distress inks to the edges. I think that'll be good. Let's do this one. I have to remember to wash my stencils after using Distress Oxide inks, because they have a tendency to bleed if you go over them with a different color. Okay. Okay. All right, now you cooperate. I kind of like these. All right, distressing. Go around the edges. We could make this a pocket on this journal card. What do you think of that idea? And then we can tuck things into the pocket. I'm going to go ahead and do both sides. Because I did make this a little bit shorter. I don't know if these, they wouldn't quite fit in there, but maybe we can make a different card to go inside and use up some more scraps. I may have a piece of pink cardstock that I could cut in my pink scraps. Okay. Like that. Oh, I just saw this. That'll be perfect. I think we're going to do that. Okay. So, let's move this out of the way for a moment. So these were 4.5 inches. And I believe this is 11 inches by, oh, it's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. All right, so if I were to cut these to be, that's 8 inches. So if I were to cut these at 7.5, yeah. And then cut these at 4. I don't know if 4.25 would be enough. I think we'll go down to 4. Oh, I didn't cut that down sure enough. That's okay. We'll fix it. You got to look at what the pocket is, Linda, not what the card is. So this piece was 7.5 inches. Let's just make this 7 inches. All right. Yes, I know I created some scraps, but that's okay. I can put those back in the pink bin. I'll separate those. So if we were to put those in here, that would look pretty cute. Okay. Let's see what I have in my hearts. Do we want to keep with the pink theme? I have these two hearts. Maybe we'll get another piece of paper to put with that. Hello, Becky. Hey, so glad you're here. Thank you for sharing. Hello, 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 and welcome. All right, so if I make that a pocket, I need a couple things. I need a piece of paper to put on the back of that pocket for basically like a gusset so that my journal card will fit in there. So I have some scraps here. Oh yeah, we can use that. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Yep, that'll work. All right, I'm going to glue these down, and then I'll cut them out, and I'll leave a tab that I can use for my pocket. And I'm using up another scrap of paper. This was just some text weight paper that I had here in my stash. So I'm leaving a little bit of a border here. Flip it over and smooth it out. Okay, and we'll do it again over here. You're from Kentucky? Nice to have you here. Sheila's also from Kentucky. I'm in Oklahoma, if you didn't know that. In Yukon, Oklahoma. It's just outside of Oklahoma City. My husband was making fun of me because I keep saying this. It's the home of Garth Brooks. He grew up here. So we have a street named after him here in Yukon. Our business that we have is on Route 66. So it's in Main Street, Yukon. All right, so I'm going to take this piece and cut it. Get my little thread out of the way. And we'll do this side. Okay, so now I'll cut this corner. Cut this corner. Get rid of my scrappy pieces. Okay. And then what we do is we take this piece and you fold it over. And then we'll fold in the tabs at the end. And do it again over here. There's several of you from Kentucky. Lots of people visiting there. We've got somebody from Australia. We got Jennifer, who's also from Oklahoma. It's a small world with junk journaling. I was on a cruise and I met a lady and we talked and we sat next to each other for the day. We had lunch together. And then she messaged me later when she was able to get on the internet and saw that I do junk journals. And she was like, oh my gosh, I do too. I never tell anybody I do them because they all look at me like I have two heads. I said, same. Happens to me too. All right, that's going to go there. I feel like I need to put something with that heart. Let's see if I've got... I got a couple of paper doilies here. So I don't know if I want to use a whole doily and basically put it where it's coming off of it, and this card will go behind. Make sure I get it where it fits into the pocket all the way. So it kind of gives it that pretty lacy look on top of there. I think that looks good like that. All right, let's add some distress inks to the doily, and then we'll glue it onto the pocket, and then we'll glue the pocket onto the card. So I'm just basically rubbing that over. I'm using Distress Ink Walnut Stain, if you didn't know. I'm just kind of rubbing it right on that edge. Okay, I like that. So I'm going to take this piece and glue it pretty much in the center from top to bottom. Put that down right about there. Oops, I ripped it because I rubbed too hard. Let's see if I can. I may need to put something on there. Dang it, I hate it when I do something like that. Okay, let's see. Oh, I know what we can do. I've got these little flowers. Maybe I can find one. There we go. Got some different pinks. Got some leaves. There's that pink. It's kind of got a metallic look to it. I also have a purple. I don't know if a purple would be better. Kind of thinking maybe I'll do this pink color. All right, so I'm going to glue this down in the center, and then I will glue the flower over to cover up my flub up there where I rubbed too hard on the doily. I've got this paler pink, brighter pink, kind of a purple and pink. I think maybe that purple would look good there. And I've also got some leaves. So do we want to go this way? I think like that. So it's kind of going out to the top. So I'm going to glue down the leaf first so that I get everything positioned the way that I want. And then I'll glue down the flower. Okay, I'll lay my block on that for a moment, and that'll help position it, keep it stuck. All right, let's do that again, but this time let's make sure we don't rip the doily. All right, so just kind of positioning that in the center, and then gently press, but don't rub because it's thin paper. All right, and we'll put this in the middle. Like so. All right, and then we'll glue the flower leaf and then the flower on there. All right, let's glue this down. Okay. And then this piece. These are just watercolored flowers and leaves that I've stamped and fussy cut. I do offer the stamps. You'll see the links in the description box. Okay, I like those. So let's put the excess. Maybe we'll do something with those. I might keep out. Get two that match. Let's do those two. Okay, so I need to glue the pocket onto the journal card, and then you like that, Janice? Thank you. And then we will add some distress inks to the journal card that's going to go in the pocket. And I got out a little flower here. Okay. I'm going to lay my acrylic block over that just to kind of help it weighted down the little pocket piece. Okay, and let's do that again on this piece. Okay. Go down the sides. I'll position that so it'll stay in place. All right, so I got these two blank pieces of cardstock that I cut down. So let me add some distress inks to the edges. So it'd be a nice little addition we could add to a journal. You could also give it to a friend as it is, so they could write their own. You could also write a whole story on this journal card and the back side of the base there. Oh, thank you, Becky. Thank you so very much. All right. Okay, we got that. Let's move this out of the way for a moment. All right, so this card's going to go in the pocket here. Okay. Now, we can leave it the way that it is, just a plain journal card, or we could add to it. I'm thinking maybe if we add a little border stamp down the side here. I've got Follow Your Heart. And what if we were to glue that at the bottom here? So it kind of looks like it's part of the card in the background. Let me get that down here so you can see it better. Okay. Add a little bit of glue on here. Do this one as well. Maybe we'll stamp the corners. I was going to use these flowers, but I changed my mind. I'm allowed to do that. And it's just because I already had it here on my desk. I've got the henna rose. That's usually what happens to me, is whatever's on my desk is what I use. How many of y'all like that? I'm going to stamp this in the corner. This is a textured paper, so the stamp won't be perfect. But I think it'll look really pretty once I position it in the pocket. How's that? So it just adds a little bit to it, but still leaves us writing space. And we've got the back side here, and as well as the back side of this card. So we'll do the same thing again. All right, is there anything that you wanted me to show you how to do? Here's your opportunity to speak up in the chat. If out of the techniques that I've been showing today you have questions, speak up now. And I can see what I can do for you. I think I like the way this turned out. Those turned out really pretty, I think. All right, I need to blow my nose. I've been sneezing today, so I took some allergy medicine earlier, but I guess now it's kicking in that I need to blow my nose. Pardon me. Use some hand sanitizer and clean my hands. Okay. There we go. I like the way those turned out. This could also be a full page belly band if you want, basically. And you could tuck another card behind there. But I think it'll be cute to put it in a pocket. All right. I think we have time for one more something or another. Put all these together so I know what I made. Let's see here. I have these that I started. So this was I think this was a piece of wallpaper that I had, and I adhered it to a piece of paper. And I thought maybe I could make something pretty quick and easy out of it. So let's see what we've got here in my little stash. I've got that heart. I've got these hearts. They're kind of similar. They're opposite of each other. So maybe we can find, let's see here. Do I want to do something like this? Nope, that's not going to go. A couple of little blue flowers, and we could add some leaves to those. This wallpaper that I use. Thank you, Becky. Thank you so very much. Maybe a little piece of pink of some kind. Well, that might be pretty. I have a piece of this, but I don't know. Is that what I want to do, is make a little, I don't know. We'll get those two out for a moment. So do we like it on that paper? I basically cut a little rectangle out of it. That's what I'm thinking. Or do I like it better on this paper? if we were to cut a little rectangle out of that. This is a stenciled book page, and this is scrapbook paper. I kind of like the way the ivory or the white comes through on that. So I think I'm going to cut this one. Make a little rectangle here. So if my heart is approximately 3 inches, if I cut a 3.5 inch by, let's see, 3.5 inch, let's see how this looks, 3.5 inch, that's a long ways. I don't think I want it that wide, but I could get 2. All right, so let's cut this at 3.5. Put that back in my pink pile here in a moment. And let's see how big this book page is. It is 5 3/4 of an inch. You know what I could do is see where the middle is and just cut it down the middle. So now when I do this, how's that? I think that'll look pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and add some distress inks to that piece. I think I could get away with putting that below. And if we wanted to, we could find a piece of paper to back the love yourself phrase. I think that'll be good. Should we map the love yourself? Okay. Just adding a little bit of distress ink. These were a gel print that I scanned into my computer and printed on some copyweight paper. All right, let's glue these together. And I just traced the heart and cut them out. There we go. Yeah, I think I'll like that. So we'll put this going up. Oh, don't drop it. Okay. I think I'm going to finish this one up and call it quits. Did you like today's session? Did you get some ideas of using up some of those scraps you have? Like this wallpaper scrap? I can't decide if I want to mat this in a blue though. I happen to have this scrap of blue. I think that would look pretty good underneath there. So I'm going to cut that and glue this piece down. All right, so what I want this to be. So that is 2. So if we go to right about there, 2 3/4. Okay. I'm going to add some distress inks and then layer that together. Thank you, Becky. I'll show what I made again here in just a moment if you joined me late. I do suggest you go back and watch it again. You may see something differently. I would love for it if you would leave a comment after this video of what you liked the best. And also if you have any questions or if there's a technique or something that you would like for me to show a little better, let me know. I can create another tutorial to show you how. All the images that I used today were either a stencil or a rubber stamp. The Follow Your Heart is a rubber stamp that I offer in my shop. The Love Yourself is a stamp that I offer in my shop, as well as the flowers that I use. Okay, glue these all together. I'll have to use my Fabri-Tac glue to glue down the pink paper, that's just a book page, onto the wallpaper because Aleene's tacky glue doesn't like to stick to this vinyl wallpaper. Okay, go like that. Let's get this one. Move this out of the way. All right, get my Fabri-Tac open. So we're missing, I didn't see Julie today. I wonder if she had to work or had an appointment. Okay. I need to clean the tip out. Sometimes that gets a little clogged. Clean my needle off. If your Fabri-Tac glue doesn't seem to want to flow easily, add a little bit of some acetone to it, pure acetone, and it will kind of loosen it up. I may need to do that to mine. I don't see my acetone laying here on the desk though. I moved it. Okay, put that back in here. Positioning it more to the top there. Okay. I liked how these turned out too. Glue this down. Oh, we're going to pick a winner for the junk bucks. I give away junk bucks. Junk bucks are basically a way for you to earn a coupon to my shop. If you have 2,000 junk bucks accumulated, you can redeem those for a coupon for $10 off. All right, so let's go ahead and glue this piece down. I like it. Glue it down. Use my bone folder to help push that glue out to the edges. I like the way those turned out. You like those? Put this out of the way for a moment. Move my tools out of the way. All right, so yeah, pretty front of the card. Yeah, you can use those as a, you can make that a front of a journal if you want. You can just make it a card. It's blank on the back side. So there is one set that I made today. So push those way up there. Move my tools out of the way. And then I made these two. So they have pockets. So you can remove the journal card here. You also have the back side of that one. And what else? We've got these two journal cards that we made today. Oh, that doesn't quite get us in the picture, does it? Maybe like that. This happens when you make big journal cards. They don't all fit in the screen. Let's go over here. And then I made this belly band, or it can be a pocket. I think for me, it might become a belly band. I don't know. And then I made a journal card, just a quick one, where I covered a piece of cardstock and used a gel print. Thank you so much, Connie and Becky. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then the very first one was book page, fussy cut flower that I watercolored, and then some watercolor strip and a rubber stamp. I know it's completely different, but it was what was laying on top of my desk, and I thought I would go ahead and play with that. So there are some ideas to use the theme love and Valentine's. I hope you liked those ideas and that you're inspired to create. All right, we're going to pick a winner of the 200 junk bucks. I'll have to write it down myself because Robin's not here. And that winner is Jennifer. Congratulations, Jennifer. I have to write myself a note. I need a piece of notepad paper. Where is it? I had one out a minute ago. Here, I got this scrap. We'll just use that. And we'll put the Mrs. Edmondson junk box. All right. Thank you all, everyone, for being here, for hanging out with me today. I hope you are inspired to create. I hope that you do something creative today or this week. I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I've got a couple of journals that I want to finish, but I haven't done so yet. So I don't know if I'll get all my supplies out to do that. It may be one of those that I just piddle. Like, I've got this Ziploc bag that has a few things inside of it that I've been working on off and on. Like, here's kind of a Franken page, and I stenciled. Looks like there's another one. This is a cardstock piece that I was going to use for a cover. And let's see, it looks like I started decorating by just paper clipping some papers down of what I thought I would want to put together here. I haven't put anything on the back side yet. But sometimes what I do, I will grab some paper clips and scraps of paper and then start making some kind of a collage with it. This one has a pocket that goes here that I worked on. So I don't know, I may finish up this little bundle of papers that I have and turn it into a journal just so I can finish it. Maybe I'll add some heart stuff to it as well. All right, y'all, do something fun, do something creative, and of course do something kind. Be kind to someone out there. You never know what your kindness may do. It may brighten their day significantly and make a change in this world. Y'all have an amazing week, and thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your day. If you're watching this as a replay, I'd love to hear your feedback. So right down below, do check out the Friendly Journal People Facebook group. There's a link in the description box where you can share your journal projects that you're working on or have finished, and share some questions if you have any, or just some tips for others to try out. Y'all have an amazing week. I send lots and love to you. We'll see you next week here at 3:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. Y'all take care. Love you. Bye.